Molweni guys, ni right? 40 Sticks is my introduction into Kenyan cinema, and it was a disappointing introduction. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed parts of the film, however it did not deliver on what I was made to believe this film was going to be. It is an action film with no passion, and in this review we're going to delve deep into why I think the passion was missing in 40 Sticks. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know that my favorite genre is action. I love action movies, and it's purely because SABC 1 used to play action movies on Friday nights religiously, and I was there watching it. It was the one time I could stay up late without being told that tomorrow is a school day. So yes, I am an action fanatic. Before we get into this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
We all know that first impressions are important, and that's the case for films as well. And in my opinion, the first 10 minutes of a film are important, even if it's a slow burner. 40 Sticks had my imagination running. They introduced violence and crime, and not just any type of crime, but heists. We know that heists focus on the planning, execution, and aftermath of a large robbery. 40 Sticks also introduced interpersonal conflict within a group of people whose lives literally depend on loyalty. But let's get back to the heists. Not only did we not get to focus on the process of the heist and how the criminals planned the heist in great detail, but during the detour, we were not shown why Pablo and the gang were the way they were. Okay, let me rephrase that. We didn't get to see how these men kept evading capture. Like, being in a confined space in the middle of nowhere is a great opportunity to show off your skills, to show off why you were so hard to capture until the end. What made you stand out from the rest? From the opening scenes, we were already shown who the leader was. We saw that it was Pablo, and he was the person that generally planned the whole thing, but we didn't get to see how he plans or why the rest of the gang trusted him. The opportunity to see them in action, the opportunity to see Pablo in action was in the game reserve, and I saw nothing but a group of confused men who didn't know how to plan or get out of a tight spot, which led me to believe that all those crimes they got away with was because of pure luck and not planning. But realistically, my complaint is about the writing and its lack of creativity. The only little change the writers could have done is to put Pablo back in his mastermind seat and let that man cook. Let that man cook and get him and his shooters plus the pastor out of that game reserve. This movie relied so heavily on subverting our expectations. It relied on the plot twist to make it interesting, but I was not surprised or challenged.
The plot twist, yes, the plot twist was lackluster. The plot twist was lackluster. The plot twist was lackluster. It lacked shine. It lacked luminosity. It lacked glow. You know, it wasn't even surprising. It wasn't even surprising. At some point, I started believing that was something supernatural going on in that game park. Because there's no way people just disappear. Are my expectations too high? Are they? Are my expectations too high?
They're not. And as I was saying, the only thing I would have changed about 40 Sticks was to include a scene or two of Pablo, Mustafa, Biggie, and the other guy showing us A, why they are a team, B, what their skill sets are, and C, how they use their skills to evade capture all those years or for however long they were doing heists. They could have included those scenes, still good game park in the game reserve, and the plot twist would have still worked. Because for Ywaya, the woman, for her to plot and scheme to the extent that she did, for her to commit to showing up in the world as a man, wearing a mustache and taping down her boobs, just to secure a job where she could be a guard, where she could oversee the men that betrayed her. She was bound to have a plan A to Z. She would have sat there and figured out a plan A to Z in the event that Pablo thinks of an escape, in the event that Pablo plans something to get him and the gang out of that police van. Am I making sense? And this would have worked because she knows how Pablo thinks. Like she said, she was there in the very beginning, so she's aware of all his tricks, she knows all his maneuvers, she knows how he pivots, so she could have had a contingency plan for when he hires people to come and bust them out, essentially. But they chose not to do that, and I think it really took away from the overall greatness this movie could have had.
Thank you for making it to the end of my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.